The Manager of Opposition Business.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Today I rise to address the ongoing conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and I call on the Australian Government to clearly state a position on this matter on behalf of Australia and the Australian people. This conflict, which tragically reignited in September 2020, has resulted in the loss of life, the displacement of innocent people and the destruction of infrastructure. As members of the international community, we all share a responsibility to speak up, to clearly call for an end to the violence and to call for the protection of citizens. I want to acknowledge the work of the Armenian National Committee of Australia, who have been consistent advocates for peace in Artsakh and for consistently highlighting the need for the safety of the Armenian people. The recent upsurge in violence has resulted in the displacement of thousands of people and has had a devastating impact on civilians in the region. If I can quote the words of the Armenian National Committee, quotes, "On 12 December 2022, Azerbaijan launched a new wave of aggression, cutting off the only land link between Artsakh and Armenia in an attempt to subjugate the civilian population to a new form of psychological terror. This conflict is causing enormous pain to the people of Armenia, but also great pain to the many Australians of Armenian background. Many Australians of Armenian background live in the northern suburbs of Sydney, including in my electorate of Bradfield and in the neighbouring electorates of Bennelong and North Sydney. Many members of this community have raised their concerns with me, and I am pleased to have the chance to speak up on their behalf in our national parliament to highlight the grave concerns they have and that I very much share. I want to specifically express my concern about reported human rights abuses occurring as part of this conflict, including credible allegations of the targeting of civilians and credible allegations of the use of illegal weapons. These actions are wholly unacceptable, they are inconsistent with international law, and they must be condemned in the strongest possible terms. I call on Azerbaijan to cease hostilities and to engage in negotiations to find a lasting and peaceful solution. And I call on the Australian Government to speak up clearly in expressing the principle of the sovereignty of borders and raising our clear concerns as a nation about the conflict in Artsakh and the aggression demonstrated by the nation of Azerbaijan.